If you are still using your kit lens, you should be looking to upgrade it. If you're looking to upgrade it but can't afford a better lens, throw your kit lens away now. I have the perfect solution for you. Okay, maybe don't throw away your kit lens. You could keep it as a backup or sell on eBay for 30 bucks. But I digress. I'm Noah from Anything Cameras, the channel that focuses on helping you improve your filming and photography. And chances are that you know upgrading your lens can often be even more beneficial than upgrading your camera. After all, so many photographers recommend that, and for a good reason. But lenses can be expensive, like 40 grand expensive. So if you only have a couple $100s, how can you improve your image quality? Well, I have a solution for you though. First, let me say that this is not sponsored in any way. I bought this lens with my own money. I'm pretty sure this lens is actually discontinued. I've never even talked to the maker before. Besides, I only have 30 subscribers. I don't think that I'll get any sponsorships anytime soon. Speaking of which, please subscribe. Anyway. Okay, so this lens I keep alluding to is the Sigma 17-50 f2.8 EXDC-OS HSM. I don't know what all those letters mean. It is really a mouthful and they should come up with a better name. This lens was released in 2010, but don't let its age turn you off from buying it. The price has dropped from the original price of $600 to $350. That is a massive price drop, and you can find it used for less. Also, this lens, especially for the price, is sharp. Not to mention, it has a much wider aperture than your old kit lens. Before I continue, let me mention that there will be a table of contents in the description, so if you want to skip to something like image quality or build quality, then you can go ahead and find out where that is. Okay, I'm just kind of rambling at this point, so let me get a little bit more organized. I'll talk about specs before moving on to build quality and image quality, etc. This lens, as I said, is a 17-55 f2.8, meaning that it's a perfect focal length to replace your kit lens, which is probably an 18-55. And its aperture of f2.8 means that there will be more light, more black background blur, and therefore more bokeh. This lens is also better build quality than most kit lenses and has optical image stabilization, so there are only advantages to upgrading. Overall, the build quality is great. It's made of a mixture of hard plastic and metal in different places, with grippy rubber bands around the zoom and focus rings, and it feels robust without being too heavy. And also the mount itself is metal, which is a very nice touch. I have no complaints about build quality whatsoever, especially for this price. But what could be improved is the build itself. The focus ring itself turns with the autofocus, because there are markers on the lens so you know where you're focusing. And this is great, especially for something like astrophotography. And I'm really glad that Sigma included this. The problem is that the distance between the focus ring and the zoom ring is so short that especially when I have a battery grip on my camera, my hand will spill over from the zoom ring onto the focus ring and block it from turning. This means that when the camera tries to focus, the focus ring can't turn and the motors let out a very high-pitched noise. As long as you are careful and conscious of this flaw in the build, you shouldn't have too many problems. I just wish they made the lens a little longer to compensate for this. Also, more or less related to build quality, this lens has a front filter size of 77mm and does come with a lens cap and lens hood. Before I continue on to image quality though, I would just like to ask you to subscribe for more videos similar to this. We have a lot of great ones planned. Okay, let me talk more about image quality now. This is definitely the lens's best strength. It's very, very sharp and does not suffer from much vignetting or chromatic aberration, the last one of which Canon's Nifty 50 suffers horribly from. It is reasonably sharp in the corners, which is a nice upgrade from most kit lenses, which have dramatically decreased sharpness in those corners. The difference in sharpness, even with this lens at f2.8 and Canon's kit lens at f8, which is supposed to be the sharpest point of that lens, is insane. The Sigma is so much sharper, it is noticeable even just on the back of your camera screen, never mind on a nice big monitor. And the fact that this lens has an aperture of f2.8 non-variable, meaning that when you zoom in to 50mm, it's still f2.8, is huge, especially for filmmakers. Because with kit lenses, it starts at just f3.5, and then when you zoom, it will often change to f5.6, meaning the overall exposure will decrease, which is a huge problem for filmmakers who need to zoom in and out. The bokeh quality is fine, nothing mind-blowing. It's nice and round, not too hexagonal, and not too football-shaped. Okay, let me talk a bit about the autofocus. This aspect of the lens is the only one where you can see a bit of its age. It's not too slow, and usable for anything except maybe sports, assuming your camera's autofocus is good, but it is noisy. Here is an amplified audio clip of the noise. In reality, it's not too bad. In fact, I'm filming with it right now. But I'm stationary, so it will only be making small adjustments every now and then. I also have a microphone right above me, and the camera is a couple feet away from me, so a camera-mounted microphone might pick up those slight adjustments. So unfortunately for you vloggers, this lens might not be a great option. But if you have the microphone off the camera, whether it's shotgun or not, you should be fine. The stabilization in this lens is nothing incredible, but it will help with handheld video work. Here's a comparison on, and then with the same movement off. Overall, this lens is a great deal if you can get it for under $300, or maybe even under $250. It's definitely worth your money. I'm Noah, and thanks for watching.